This is lesson 5-1, using graphs to relate to quantities.
Let's discuss the purpose of graphs. They're visual representations that will compare two variables. The variables that we have for graphs, one is independent, any variable that is not affected by change, and the dependent variable, the variable that is affected by change of the independent variable. Graphs will have the following characteristics. The independent variable will be on its horizontal axis. The dependent variable is on the vertical axis. What you are used to with x and y, x is the independent variable, y is the dependent variable. But as you will see throughout the rest of this course, you will see that we will not always be using x and y. Tables are the list of values for the graphs, and reading a table can help you lead to know what type of graph it will be. And we can always connect the points by a line or a curve, and they can be a set of points as well. So let's do an example of analyzing a graph. Using the graph to the left, I want you to identify the variables, state which one is the dependent and independent variable, and describe the relationship in your own words between the variables. Pause the video at this point to give yourself a chance to do this on your own. So the variables that we have in this particular situation are time and volume. The independent variable is time, and the volume is the dependent variable. And the relationship between these two variables is, as time increases, volume increases. Here's an example of matching tables with a graph. Choose which table on the right matches the graph on the left. Pause the video at this point to give yourself a chance to do it. The answer for this one is the one to the right, C, if you match the table with the graph. Let's do another one with matching tables with graphs. Pause the video at this point to give yourself a chance to do the example. The answer for this one is B. 1 matches up with 80, 2 with 125, etc. Here's an example with sketching a graph and its description. A model rocket is lit, rises quickly from the ground, hits its peak height, briefly falls quickly, and then its parachute opens. It then falls to the ground slowly. Set up a graph, name your dependent and independent variables, and sketch what the graph would look like. Pause the video at this point to give yourself a chance to do so. So if you take a look at my graph here, first of all, we only have one corner of the graph, which is perfectly acceptable since the only thing we're going to be dealing with here are positive numbers. Time is the independent variable that goes on the horizontal axis. Height is the dependent variable, and it's going to be on the vertical axis. Here's a sketch of what it could look like. It rises quickly from the ground, hits its peak, briefly falls quickly, and then the parachute opens, and that's why we are gradually falling to the ground. If you have any questions on this lesson, please make sure you're consulting your teacher in class.